Well, welcome everyone. So we want to thank you for joining us, whether you are joining us live or watching the recording. We are so glad to have you here to learn about this amazing Azamara cruise. So let's first introduce ourselves. I'm Suzanne Klasen, and Steve and I own CruiseOne in Sholo, Arizona. And then she's not here live, but our office manager is Lauren, and she has our Tucson office, and she's also a CLIA certified travel advisor, just like I am. She's certified cruise counselor. I've been around a little longer, so I'm an elite cruise counselor with the Cruise Line Association. And Steve just does all the stuff in the background. You probably won't ever talk to him, but he's in the loop on everything and in the know. So that's our team. And we're glad you're here to learn about our travel agency and, more importantly, this amazing cruise with Azamara. So we have a little video from Azamara called Change the Way You See.
Push beyond the obvious, and perspective is open to change. When you see parts unknown in ports less known, unwind, stay the night, and just slow down. Wander, but never wonder what a place is really like. The difference is night and day. Azamara.
I love
Change
that.
the way you
Azamara
see.
is a boutique cruise line. They only have 4 ships, and they are one of our favorites to cruise with. The reason for that is they have more overnights. They do things a little differently than the big cruise lines. So here's our agenda for tonight. We're going to talk about our itinerary with this Greece, Italy, Sicily, and Albania. And we're going to talk about, again, that difference that Azamara brings to the whole cruise product, which makes it's a completely different way to cruise. And then we'll talk about our exclusive pricing and discounts. So let's get going. Hopefully we will be getting you to join us on this amazing cruise. So just a little bit about us. Steve and I have owned our business for 14 years, and we are committed to crafting exceptional cruise experiences for you. We are passionate about travel ourselves, and so we turn that passion into a passion for making your dream vacation our complete mission. You, the clients, are the focus of us. That's why we take out these groups on these really unique itineraries, because we want to deliver something to our clients that's out of ordinary and extraordinary. Travel a lot, and we understand the importance of quality suppliers like Azamara to the travel experience. The internet on cruise ships is so reliable now that we are able to work from anywhere in the world. We do spend a lot of time on the road, but we bring that experience back and apply it to our clients' experiences, and help them, give them little tips, all kinds of insider information that you wouldn't get if you just book directly with the cruise line. So it really is a great deal to work with us. Again, you've got an insider. I know the folks at Azamara really well. I network with them at our national events that we have. You've got my expert planning assistants. I think I counted it up. I've been on 88 cruises in my lifetime, and I've booked thousands more than that. And I know that one size doesn't fit all. So I have a very consultative planning process, whether it's just planning what kind of cabin is going to be best for you on this cruise, or whether it's choosing an itinerary and a cruise line that works best for you. You have a low price guarantee. You will never pay more going through my agency than you would booking directly online at the cruise line's website. And I'll tell you a little secret. If you are doing that, just booking directly with the cruise line, you're actually paying for something that you're not getting, because the commissions I earn are built into the price, whether you book directly with the cruise line or you book through me. And when you book through me, you get so much more. It's kind of like all that and a side of fries too, because I help you with planning your pre and post cruise trips. I give you insider tips about the cruise line. I've cruised with Azamara. I can tell you, things that are must-dos and the things you can skip. So again, you get so much more by booking through me, and it doesn't cost you any more. As a matter of fact, with this cruise, I'm actually going to be saving you money, because my group rates are lower than the current direct rates. And help is just a phone call away. You're either going to get me or Lauren in our Tucson office, and we don't have any long hold queues. If you leave a voicemail, we usually call you back right away. So here's a look at this itinerary. What I love about this itinerary is that you get to see three different countries. And if you count Sicily as kind of like a fourth area, which is not its own separate country, you're really getting a great overview of the Mediterranean. You have lots of days in port. That's what Azamara is famous for. They don't have onboard casinos because they are so often not at sea. They are in port or they're doing overnights in port. So it really gives you that immersive destination experience. And you can see in some of the ports, they're in port pretty late at night. So they really do try to give you that total immersive destination experience. They're not about a lot of fluff. It's getting you into the destination. So our cruise is going to begin in Athens, Greece. And if you would like to come in a little bit early, I would love to help you plan a couple extra days in Athens. Steve and I are kind of already looking into it. We're getting to the point where we're almost 11 months out, so we can plan our flights into Athens and our layover, our stay. So it's we're getting to that point where I can help you plan that and come up with a custom itinerary. Here's some suggested things to do in Athens. Of course, if you've never been, you need to go to the Acropolis and the Parthenon. But if you want to see some of the artifacts that are from that area, you definitely want to go to the Acropolis Museum because that's where all the finest statues and artifacts that are found in that area are located. You can do a street food tour. Athens has great food. There's a couple of areas that are just a couple hours drive from Athens, and you can do like a day tour that would take you to the Maggiore monasteries and the hermit caves. There's tours that include where St. Paul ministered in Athens. So if you're like a biblical scholar, that's something you might want to do. There's also some other ancient civilizations that are located not too far from Athens. And so you could see the ruins of those civilizations as well as the Greek civilization. So, and maybe you want to visit the biblical city of Corinth. So really some interesting things that you can do in and around Athens. I would suggest you come in at least one day early or maybe expand it to 2 or 3 days early. So our first port is the port of Katakolon, and that's about a 35-minute drive from Olympia. And I do recommend, highly recommend that you visit that city. There's a museum tour that you can see. That's where they have a lot of the artifacts. You can go run around the track that the first Olympics were held on. It's really an interesting place to visit, and you can see a lot of the ruins and again some of the amazing statues that have been recovered in that area. Here's a look at the different shore excursions that Azamara offers. They have lots of different things. I've been joking with Steve that next time I go to Greece, and hopefully this is what we're planning on doing, I would have more of the food and wine experience there because I kind of did all the ancient monuments. So they offer that in this port as well. And if Katakolon, you can just walk around and they have a great shopping there. So if you don't want to go all the way into Olympia, you can do that as well. Okay, so Sarandë, Albania. This will be a new country for me. I've never been to Albania. Uh, this is a charming little bay city. There is ancient history from a 5th century synagogue that was later converted to a Christian basilica. So there's mosaic floors, things like that. There's a couple of castles in the area that are interesting to go experience. And of course, that local culture. There's warm hospitality. You can have a chance to savor some of the regional cuisine, soak up some of the relaxed atmosphere. This is really a gem of a coastal city to enjoy. Never been to Albania? This is your time. This is a great way to dip your toe. So from there, we will head over to Siracusa, Sicily, excuse me. And I've been to Italy many times, but I've never been to this port in Sicily. We did go to a different port, which is the second port we're visiting in Sicily last April. And I found Sicily to be incredible. There's incredible architecture, buildings, there's ancient ruins. So lots of different things that you can do in that area. And of course, they have that lovely Sicilian pizza that you see there. So wonderful things to do and see in the Syracuse area. And here's just some of the different shore excursions that Azamara offers. You can go to like Nato, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can do a wine tasting in the area, and you can see the classical parts of Siracusa. So lots of different things that you can do in that area. Now, Catania is the port that we visited when I was there in April of this year, or April, May. And we took from there, it is about a 35-minute drive from Catania to Taormina. And Taormina is such an interesting place because they have not only, it's kind of a ruined Greek theater, but they actually still use it. So they have a Greek theater that is still in use. There's also some Roman ruins in the area. They have a beautiful coastline there. And the city that's up there is this Baroque city with a beautiful boulevard that you can walk down, all these interesting churches, all these beautiful views looking off the side of the cliff down into the bay. So that would be something that I would recommend to you. But there's other things you can do from Catania that could be equally as interesting as going to see Taormina. So here's some of the different excursions. They even offer an excursion back to Siracusa on that day, but you can go wine tasting, you can see Mount Etna and Taormina. They have one that just provides a shuttle to Taormina on your own. So they'll drop you off, you can explore that city. It's really an incredible city. Again, panoramic coastline, just lots of different things to do in this area. And Azamara's excursions are usually very good, led by really good local guides, and really designed to give you a really good feel of what each port is going to be like. So then we're off to Salerno. So Salerno is kind of your gateway to the Amalfi Coast, and kind of the first city that people think of on that coast is Sorrento, which is as beautiful fresh seafood, charming churches and cafes that overlook the sea. Just a lovely place to see. You can also visit Pompeii from this area. We went to Pompeii when we were there in May, and I can tell you, I could go back again, and I wouldn't even see the same things. You really could spend a full day in Pompeii, and so if you have something that is in Pompeii that you want to make sure that your guide takes you to see, or maybe it's not, maybe it's not planned for something that your tour guide is going to take you to, ask your guide, hey, I really wanted to see this house. A lot of people like to go see the bordello just because it's a little raunchy and interesting. So if that's something you want to go see and do, and your guide, make sure you talk to your guide that's taking you through Pompeii, and he can direct you to where the specific item that you want to see is. If you've never been there before, just follow your guide. They'll take you around, show you everything, and you'll see lots of interesting things. There's also the ruins of Herculaneum, and Herculaneum was destroyed in the same volcanic eruption that erupted in that covered Pompeii in ash. Herculaneum got covered in a little bit more lava. So the ruins there are a little bit different, but still very well preserved and a very interesting place to go see if you're interested in that ancient Roman history and those cities that were so well preserved by the volcanic eruption. So here's just some of the different excursions that they offer. We are overnight in Salerno, so it gives you a chance to do more than one thing when you're there. And it's a beautiful little town. Some people like to go to the Isle of Capri. There's all different things that you can do in this area. So be sure to ask me if you're looking at what the excursions that Azamara offers. If you don't see something that's quite what you want, I do have access to tours through our partner company, Shore Excursion Group, and also through Viator. And we can always make sure that we find you the excursion that's just right for you. So we're going to end the cruise in Rome, the Eternal City. This is such an incredible place to visit. I do suggest that you spend at least 1 or 2 days post-cruise, ideally 3, in Rome, and I can help you put together a terrific custom package for your stay in Rome. So you can start this cruise with a couple days in Athens and end it with a couple days in Rome, and you have such a rich experience. So some of the things you can do in Rome, of course, we kind of know these things, the Vatican, Trevi Fountain. When I was there a couple years ago, we went to the Trevi Fountain every single day just because it's ended up where we were walking. The Colosseum, the Forum. Again, I can put together custom tours for you, find something on Viator. And I can recommend the best gelato places in Rome. So be sure to ask me about what it would cost to put together like a custom package in Rome. So now we're going to move on to our ship. And this is what's so unique is Azamara has these 4 unique, very, I would call them small ship cruising, 750 passengers, but they're packed with so much. They have 5 restaurants, multiple bars, lounging. They have a great pool, a great spa. So Azamara it's a lot of bang for the size that it is. And we'll go to the next slide where I have a little video that talks about that. Let's talk about what makes the Azamara cruise so different. So you get a highly personalized experience. I mean, like I said, there's only 750 passengers on the ship. They have a lot of late night departures. Because of that, they try to give you the most time in port. You're going to have more of an authentic connection with the destination. And their shore excursions are designed to give you that type of experience as well. They also can port, because they're a small ship, in ports that the big ships can't get into. And so you get a lot more up close and personal with the destination. They have something on every cruise called the AzAmazing evening. On the longer cruises, you do go ashore. On the shorter cruises, they bring the AzAmazing evening on board. And I know for this cruise, they finally announced what it's going to be. It will be a 3 tenor style concert by some of the local Sicilian opera tenors. So it should be an incredible experience. These are some of our AzAmazing evenings that we've had in the past. In Dubrovnik, it was at a fortress. In Montevideo, they had a carnival themed show that they presented for us. So these shows are really going to bring the destination on board the ship and allow us to have that unique, authentic experience with the local performers who are coming on the ship to do this amazing concert for the entire ship. Going to be pretty cool. Again, that's personalized service. It's a perfect cruise line for those who appreciate personalized service and don't like crowds. So it's never going to feel crowded or too hurried or too many queues. You just don't have that with Azamara. They have a lot of fun activities and parties. One of the favorite events is their white night. And at the white night, you're encouraged to dress in white. They serve this amazing barbecue buffet dinner for the entire ship out on the decks. They have it all set up with these beautiful tablecloths. And literally everyone who works on the ship is serving as part of that event to make sure that you're not queuing up. It's delicious food, barbecue, seafood. There's something for everyone, and it's one of my favorite things on Azamara is the white night. So it's something you don't want to miss. It's really incredible. They have a great variety of entertainment. Most of their cruise directors and their assistant cruise directors are entertainers themselves. We've had some that were opera singers and they put on their own show. We had one that was an opera singer, and as we were coming back from the AzAmazing evening, she was on the promenade deck of the ship with a speaker and music set up, and she was singing opera to us as we're coming back on the ship. They also have like a cabaret cast, so they'll have 2 singers, 2 dancers, and 2 singer dancers that are part of these little, mini shows that they do for us. And those are a lot of fun. The gourmet dining experience. So this may be another one of the things that I just love about Azamara. They do try to bring the local flavors on board the ship as part of their world cuisine selection. They have two specialty restaurants, which is Prime C and Aquilina. And guests can purchase dining packages to visit these restaurants more than once or attend a chef's table. Steve, do I have it right? Do all guests get one Prime C and one Aquilina, or is I'm trying to
Yes, I believe
remember?
one in each.
Okay, so it is included for everybody.
I
And
believe
then
so.
they have an amazing casual dining venue. Sometimes they have like an extravagant seafood buffet up there. Usually that's on embarkation day with all kinds of great seafood. They have those dining events. Sometimes they'll have a special lunch or a special something out by the poolside, and they can also accommodate restricted diets. They also have great wine programs on board. They offer vegan diets. We did a wonderful wine tasting with Azamara where we set it up. It was kind of a around the world wine tasting, but it was blind tasting. And we worked with the sommelier to try to, okay, we think this is what this is. Are we on the right track? And then he would give us little clues. And then again, the special diets, if you're vegan, they have a great vegan menu. So Discoveries is their main dining room. So that is where unless you're doing specialty dining, you're going to be in that dining room. They also, or you can also do the buffet, the Windows Cafe, which is their buffet. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They have the Mosaic Cafe, and that's an outdoor casual dining venue that's open usually from breakfast till dinner, and they have pizza there and hamburgers. And then the two specialties, they have Prime C, which is their steakhouse, and Aquilina, which is their Italian. They also have a yogurt and ice cream station. And again, I mentioned that White Night Barbecue. You don't want to miss that. Here's some of the lounges and public spaces, and the living room is where they have their party band and some other activities. And they also have late night snacks out in the living room. And then the cabaret lounge is where they have their live musical shows, and uh, they usually have one or two of those a night. But it's a pretty big venue, and it can accommodate most of the guests at one time. So sun and or shade, they have a lovely pool. They have lots of loungers. You're never having to fight for a pool chair there because they only carry 750 passengers. So again, a different, more intimate experience than the large cruise ships. So the different accommodations that they have. So they have a inside cabin. These are great for people who are traveling solo because the cost, even when you pay a single supplement on these interior cabins, are very affordable, and they're very nicely furnished and appointed. Then they also have ocean views, which are also great if you're a little bit more budget minded. Some of them even have a sofa bed, so they can accommodate three people. These are pretty small, 143 square feet. And then they have the veranda and the veranda plus. Now, those are the same size. The cabin is 175 square feet plus a 40 square foot veranda. But the veranda plus just kind of gets you on a different deck, and it gets you a couple little extras. You get an internet minutes package, you get a bag of laundry, you get one night of specialty dining, and they even give you a like complimentary in-room spirit. I think we had the Club Continent Suite, which is the next one, and I had them set me up with a bottle of rum, and so sometimes I would just have like a rum and soda. I know that sounds weird, but that's what I would have was like on my computer and late night and getting ready to go to bed. You get in the Club Continent Suite, you get additional things. You get the internet, you get unlimited specialty dining. Now you have to make reservations, but that's pretty nice. If you wanted to dine in Aquilina or Prime C more than once, there's no extra charge if you're in one of these cabins. Now you have to remember that their menu stays the same throughout the cruise. So I don't know that you would want to dine maybe more than 2 or 3 times at each place because you kind of run out of food. But if there's something you really love, maybe you go back to it. So that's the nice thing about the Club Continent Suites. They also have more suites that have similar amenities like the complimentary specialty dining, access to the thalassotherapy pool in the thermal area of the spa, and of course, a lot more square footage if you book some of these suites. So the next slide, I have pricing. So what you see up top here, and I'll kind of go through it, is the different staterooms and what are available right now if you book directly outside of our group with me or directly with Azamara. Now I can book any of these cabins for you, but these cabins down here are the ones that I have in my group allocation. So with the group allocation, I've locked in these discounted rates really early on. And you can see my ocean view cabin is actually cheaper than the prevailing rate for the interior cabin. So basically, if you book with me, you're going to get an upgrade to an ocean view cabin. And then they're offering a current onboard credit, but our group rates have $100 onboard credit. So I just kind of put that on here just so you see that these higher prices do come with a little bit more onboard credit, but overall, you're still saving a lot of money to book into our group space. They don't allow us to hold space in the Veranda Plus or the Club Continent Suite, so we're kind of always at prevailing rates for those. But, you know, I can certainly book you into one of those if that's something that you're interested in.
Yeah, we're doing
And
a Club Continent Suite, so.
yeah, but we booked a year ago, so we got a pretty good deal when we booked, but they're still pretty reasonably priced. I mean, like I can look at the prices of the suites on Azamara and compare to some of the other products out there, and it's like half the price of some of the suites on even some of the larger ships. So, you know, it's a great value with Azamara. So we can add this essentials package. It's $8.99 per cabin, not per person. It has a $1,260 value. It is going to get you shore excursion credit, unlimited Wi-Fi. And you know what? I think that this is an older slide. I think they have updated the program, because I think that shore excursion credit is now 300 per cabin, not 100, not 200 not 200 per cabin, it's 300. But the other amenities are the same. And then it could be that spa credit is counting towards that shore excursion credit. So I will double check that for you, but you do get extra value if you add all of this to your cruise, and it's only $8.99 instead of $12.60 if you bought it individually. So for our group, we have two exclusive perks. We have the $100 onboard credit per cabin, and then we're going to have a complimentary wine tasting event that will be hosted by the Azamara sommelier, and we'll let you know when and where that is as we get closer to the cruise embarkation date. So let's get you booked. You just need to reach out to me. You're going to get these early booking rates because we locked them in with our group rate. You're going to get my incredible concierge level service and my expert planning and guidance. And Steve and I are going to be along on the trip, so we'll be there to make sure that every aspect of your trip is exceeding expectations. And again, we want to make sure that we get you also, if you want that inclusive, those inclusive perks, we get those booked for you too. So, you know, join our group. It's going to be fun, like-minded people, but do as much or as little with the group as you want. You're certainly not tied to us. You're going to enjoy that intimate, never crowded atmosphere on Azamara. And then we have those incredible low group rates. So I wanted to let you know also that we have a sister cruise that pairs up with this one. This is on Windstar, and you would do 4 days on land. I'll put together a custom package for you in Athens. It doesn't repeat any of the same ports, and Windstar has just 250 passengers per ship. So I have another slide for that, but if you're interested, I can get you pricing on both, and they really make nice companion cruises. And what I like about doing
So Windstar
back-to-back
actually goes
cruises,
first, and then you have 4 days in Athens before
Yes.
the Azamara one.
Yes. And what I like about pairing up these cruises on two different cruise lines, you're going to have different food, different entertainment, and all your ports are different. So it really is kind of a cool thing. So let's look one more time at this incredible itinerary. It's a 7-night Mediterranean with Greece, Athens, and then it has that 1 day. We board on October 31st, 2026. So it's just a year away. It's almost here. And we'd love to have you join you. Now, we do a lot of groups, and I just want to include these in the presentation. We had such a popular demand for the 2026 Windstar cruise that we have added a group cruise for it in 2027 because some people were not able to make it and they were really interested in that cruise. So we have that. We also have a solar eclipse cruise with Celebrity in the summer of 2026, departing from Southampton. I still have incredible group prices that are like half the price of Celebrity Direct. It's crazy because these solar eclipse cruises have sold out really quickly. We're doing a solar eclipse cruise. Steve and I are escorting on Holland America. It's going to be the 35-night Greenland, Iceland with the solar eclipse on it, but they also have some other offerings that still have availability. Anybody want to go to Antarctica? We have a expedition cruise. You have to call me to get pricing on this, but I believe there is still some availability, and this is February 21st, 2026. You actually get to take Zodiacs and walk around on Antarctica. This is not a scenic sailing one. This is actually an expedition. And then in 2027, I have one that includes South Georgia and the Falklands, and of course, the all-important Antarctic Peninsula. And then also in 2027, I have the Across the Antarctic Circle cruise again for 2027. Again, it was so popular in 26, we created a group for 27. If you want to do scenic sailing only, I have Celebrity and Holland America, several different options that do scenic sailing in Antarctica. And this one, Steve and I are so excited about. We are taking another group in 2027 to Svalbard, and it's north of Norway and northeast of Greenland. It is the most incredible archipelago, glaciers, polar bears, whales, incredible place to visit in the Arctic. And I have a webinar on that if you're interested, in several videos of our last experience there. We're doing a group with the Scandinavian Capitals in May of next year on Holland America. And then this one you can add as an additional package, the 6 or 7 night Best of Norway land package with Globus Tours. And I have several clients that are doing both the Holland America cruise and the Globus Tour. European river cruises, we're leaving in a week to do our Alma Magna cruise with the winery Los Milix from southern Arizona. We're very excited to be partnering with them. And we also have some great pricing on the Avalon Vista Romantic Rhine with Lucerne and Lake Como. I have a webinar on that. We have great pricing on 2 dates in August of 26. And we're also super excited about this. We are hosting our first American cruise line. This is luxury sailing in your own backyard. It is going to go, it's 9 days from Portland to Clarkston. And we're so excited. It's going to be the Colombian Snake River, absolutely stunning. And this waterfall is just one of the highlights of that trip. We also have a solar eclipse cruise with Celebrity in 2027. I have great group rates on this with infinite veranda cabins, and you will be in the path of totality for that solar eclipse. The ship is going to make sure it gets you positioned there. It's going to be incredible. If you're interested in Northern Lights, we have Holland America, October Norway cruises, where you're going to be all the way up into the Arctic Circle and have a chance to have that dark sky, which is what you need to see the Northern Lights, and that high latitude. Going to be incredible. We are doing the 28-night version of this. You can also book it as the 14-night Norway only. The 28-night includes the transatlantic cruise, so you only have to take one long-haul flight to get to Europe, which is kind of nice. And then we're also hosting Christmas markets with Avalon Waterways in 2027, December 9th to the 18th. And super excited about that. And you can add a Prague extension. That's going to be an incredible cruise. There's also a 4- and 5-night version of this. So if that price point that's total for 2 people is a little more than what you were thinking of, you might want to do the shorter version, and we can help plan some pre and post experiences in Munich or Nuremberg or wherever you want to visit in Europe. Here's that slide. It shows perfectly how that Windstar cruise dovetails into the Azamara. You would have 4 nights in Athens in between. Steve and I can put together a custom package for you. So you would have all the great ports that we just talked about in the Azamara cruise, in addition, all these great ports that you would have in the Windstar cruise. So that's something, if you're interested in, let me know.
No escort in both of those.
Yeah, we are escorting both of them. So on our website, we have our groups page. This is where you can find all of the discounted and escorted group cruises that we personally manage. But, and there's tons of those, you know, everything you can imagine under the sun. We strategically take these out so we have better than direct pricing for our clients. But we also, CruiseOne is a national franchise, and we are strategic partners with every single cruise line because we are the #1 retailer of cruises in North America. So they want to make sure that they are competing for our business as well as yours. So quite often we have unadvertised prices on a multitude of cruise lines that are better than direct. So it doesn't have to be just one of those you found on that other page. We have access to all kinds of better than direct pricing, and it is because we are part of that national strategic account. So again, here's a look at our pricing, compared our rates to the Azamara direct rates. It is a great deal. You know, the ocean view, if you're looking to join us and you're a solo traveler and you're paying 100%, you're paying as a solo occupant about what some other cruise lines are charging for double occupancy. So it's a really good deal. Great pricing, great onboard amenities. You know, I can't say enough about Azamara. They just do everything so well. And if you've never tried small ship cruising, now is your time. So we got big savings. So we want you to book as soon as possible. We're getting inside of a year. The cabins are going to start getting picked over soon. So call me, book as soon as possible. You're going to get our group savings. You're going to get that bonus $100 onboard credit and our exclusive wine tasting event, which I'm super excited about. You get that AzAmazing evening on board with the 3 tenors, and then all of my concierge level travel planning services. So how do you get in touch with us? Well, call me. I'll need to get your profile information. I'll do a complete quote for you, send it over with a cabin on hold for your review. And then when you have all your questions answered or ready to go, that's when we put deposit down on it. Here's again our contact information. You can speak with myself or Lauren. As I said, Steve hardly ever answers the phone, so you probably won't get him, but call any of these numbers. And we'd love to hear from you and have you join us on this amazing cruise. So I'll go ahead and open it up if we have any questions at all.
If you want to ask a question, you will need to unmute yourself. If you have a keyboard, that uses spacebar.
Or you can put it in the chat too, also.
This is Dan. Do y'all know
Dan.
if this is mostly English speakers?
It's caters only to English speakers. So there you might have a couple people that speak English as a second language, but almost everybody is going to be American or British or Australian.
Same with the one Tuesday.
Yeah, the Windstar. Yes.
Okay.
They cater all to English speakers. Occasionally, if they have a large enough group, which is very rare, they might do announcements in the second language. But it's 100% English speaking.
Okay, great.
All right. Any other questions?
Let's see.
There you are.
Oh, okay.
There you
I'm
go.
temporarily unmuted. Okay. Do you happen to know, it's Tessa, do you happen to know when White Night, is it at the beginning or the end? I kind of remember it being at the end.
It's usually towards the end, and they usually don't announce when it's going to be until you're on board the ship.
Okay.
So they'll give you the schedule, and
certainly won't be the last day or anything like that. It's it's possible it could be one of those nights that we're leaving late from the port, or it could be even the night that we're in is it Salerno overnight? okay.
Right.
You know which port the
yeah, but there's so much
Amazing
going
is?
on in Salerno because
Yeah.
the lights and all of that other kind of stuff, you know, you can walk into town and visit all of that. I was just concerned with, you know, making dinner reservations and stuff like that.
Being booked in the,
Yeah.
especially restaurant minutes, White Night.
Yeah.
I
But
don't think they don't accept specialty restaurant reservations for White Night. because the specialty
Okay.
restaurants are not open. So you don't
Well,
have to
that's
worry.
great. Then we don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it. Great.
Yeah, if you can get a specialty restaurant reservation, that's not white night.
Okay,
You,
good.
and you might
I
be
don't
able
want
to
the
figure out
conflict
which,
either.
yeah, you might be able to figure out by when you go into book what night is not available. That's probably going to be white night.
Okay, sounds good.
Suzanne, do you want to tell people on this thing what the attire is for White Night?
Oh, it's white, but so Azamara is country club casual all the time. So I'll go ahead and tell you that. You don't never need a jacket. And on white night, everyone is encouraged to wear an all white outfit. But if you could see in one of my pictures, there's some guy wearing blue. So if you don't have an all white outfit, they don't kick you out.
I don't have any white pants myself, so I have a
Yeah,
white
yeah,
shirt,
and he
not
forgot
white
his
pants.
white shirt. Yeah, so they encourage you to dress for white night like that, but if you don't have anything, you're fine. You're fine. So it's all country club casual. There is never a formal night. There's never a tie required or a jacket. You can simply relax and enjoy your cruise without having to dress up. Now, if you wanted to bring a jacket because that's how you like to go to dinner, that's perfectly acceptable too. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Well, why don't we go ahead and
There's
stop
a-
the recording?